Okay, let's unpack this. Imagine a typical residential street in Giza, fairly quiet. Apartments are stacked close. You know the kind of
Right,
place.
where neighbors live side by side, there's this sort of assumed trust, maybe anonymity.
Exactly. But behind one of those doors, that quiet was just obliterated. Horrific violence.
And when the police arrived, what they found wasn't, a simple break-in gone wrong. It was Basem's older sister, dead.
How bad was it?
It was extremely brutal. 12 stab wounds. The focus was the chest and back. The
Ah.
level of violence, it just screamed personal rage, not random.
Wow. Okay, so no forced entry, you said.
Right.
Nothing stolen.
Nothing, which tells you immediately this person was let in, willingly, or at least knew the victim. This was targeted.
Chilling. And that's where this deep dive really begins, isn't it?
Mm.
We need to understand the story behind this moment. A story of, what, a year-long deception?
A year. And it started incredibly. Just 24 hours after a wedding. We need to trace that path, why this happened, why the sister became a target.
Let's start with the groom, Basem. It's 2017, he's 30, living in Gulag, El Dakur. What was his background like?
Responsible guy. Came from a respected family. His father died young. And Basem, well, he basically stepped up immediately. Took on the family responsibilities.
Putting his own life on hold.
Completely. Especially for his older sister.
Yeah.
He practically raised her, felt deeply responsible for her.
So a good man, stable, but maybe inexperienced.
That's the key. He'd missed out on a lot of, typical young adult life. Felt rushed into marriage, maybe. And his focus became almost entirely fixated on one thing. Marrying someone exceptionally beautiful.
Like he was trying to compensate.
Exactly. Compensate for the youth he felt he'd lost. And that single-minded focus, unfortunately, made him incredibly vulnerable.
Enter Layla. Beautiful, right. That was her reputation.
Strikingly beautiful, known for it, and known for turning down suitors. The story was always about money. They weren't financially ready for her.
But that wasn't the real story.
Not at all, just window dressing. The real reason she rejected everyone else was Hossam.
Hossam. Who was he?
Local guy, but struggling financially. Not ambitious, according to her family. He'd proposed multiple times, but they always shut him down. Layla, though, was apparently quite devoted to him.
Okay, so Layla's devoted to Hossam, who her family rejects.
Yeah.
Then Basem proposes kind, stable, financially secure, but maybe a bit naive.
Critically naive. And Layla accepts him immediately.
Why? Why Basem, if she loved Hossam?
Calculation. Pure and simple. She saw Basem's kindness, his lack of worldliness, not as good qualities, but as weaknesses, things she could exploit.
So marriage to Basem gave her stability, social cover.
And allowed her to continue her relationship with Hossam. Basem was the perfect cover. He wouldn't suspect a thing.
And this manipulation started almost immediately, with the apartment.
Right. Basem wanted the best for her. Showed her several really nice flats, but she refused them all. Insisted on one particular place. Not fancy, not special.
And why that one? Was it cheaper?
No, it wasn't about the cost. It was about who lived there. Hossam, her lover. He lived in the exact same building.
No way.
Yes. One floor up. On the third floor, she deliberately maneuvered Basem into living literally underneath her lover.
That's incredibly brazen. So the choice wasn't about the apartment itself, it was about access.
Precisely. Proximity for the affair. That was the only goal.
Okay, so the foundation is set. What about the engagement?
3 months, right?
3 months. And during that time, she's secretly meeting Hossam, telling him the whole marriage thing is just temporary, just for show.
And she made him a promise.
A pretty significant one. She vowed that Hossam would be the first man, maybe the only man, to be intimate with her.
Wow. So the wedding night itself, Basem must have been thrilled.
Over the moon. He thought he'd married the most beautiful woman, his prize. But Layla, she played her part.
How?
Claimed she was utterly exhausted. Too much dancing, waking up early, the whole celebration. She convinced Basem, who trusted her implicitly, to postpone intimacy until the next day.
But it wasn't about being tired, was it?
Not a chance. It was about keeping that promise to Hossam, ensuring Basem wasn't the first. So, the next morning, less than 12 hours after the wedding, what happens?
8 a.m. Layla wakes Basem up, says she has to fulfill an urgent religious vow. A nado, she called it.
A religious vow. What kind?
Something about distributing food to the poor at a local mosque. A promise she'd apparently made to God that needed immediate attention.
And Basem, being devout and dutiful.
He bought it completely. Didn't question it for a second. He saw it as piety. He immediately left the apartment to go buy the food she needed.
Leaving her alone.
Exactly as planned. The moment he was out the door, she didn't go to any mosque. she went straight upstairs to Hassan's apartment on the 3rd floor.
The morning after her wedding.
The morning after. Spent a full hour with him. The world's fastest betrayal, you could call it. Done by 9 a.m.
Unbelievable. And this set the pattern for the whole year.
Absolutely. This became the template. She'd invent excuses, more vows, sudden needs, errands, religious duties, specifically on days she planned to be with Hossam.
So Basem wouldn't approach her.
Right. And from the outside. To the neighbors. She just looked like a dutiful, pious wife, always busy with good deeds or household tasks. Flawless deception.
So a year goes by like this. A whole year. Did Basem suspect anything?
His family sensed something was wrong. Especially his older sister, the one he'd raised. She saw he wasn't happy, something was off, the spark was gone.
But he wouldn't talk about it.
No. He refused to say a bad word about Layla. Maybe denial, maybe misguided loyalty. He just wouldn't criticize her.
So the sister decides to take matters into her own hands?
Yeah, she figures waiting for Basem to open up is useless. She decides to visit Layla. Unannounced, Basem's at work. Just the two women.
Okay, this feels like a turning point.
It is. While they're talking, Layla's phone keeps ringing and ringing. The sister notices Layla getting really agitated, trying to ignore it, glancing at it. Panicked.
Who is calling?
It's Hossam, trying to reach her, repeatedly.
So the sister sees this agitation. What does she do?
She's clever. She suddenly pretends to feel unwell. Says she needs to lie down for a bit, asks if she can just rest in the bedroom.
And Layla agrees.
Happily. Probably relieved to get her out of the room so she can deal with the phone calls. She leaves the sister alone in the bedroom.
But the sister wasn't resting.
Not at all. She was listening, ear to the door probably, and she hears the whole phone call. Layla, desperately trying to calm Hossam down.
What was she saying?
Explaining why she couldn't meet him as planned. My sister-in-law showed up unexpectedly. Things like that. Postponing their rendezvous. And in the heat of that conversation,
She slips up.
she says his name. Hossam. The sister hears it all. The affair, the name, the whole truth just laid bare.
Imagine that moment, the shock, realizing your brother, the man you practically raised, is being betrayed so profoundly.
Devastating. And your first instinct is just protect him. Figure out what to do next.
Does she confront Layla right then and there?
No. And this was smart. Tactical. She comes out of the bedroom, still playing sick, says she needs to get home to her kids immediately.
And Layla must have been so relieved, thinking the crisis was averted.
Visibly relieved. But the sister wasn't going home. She left the apartment, yes, but she didn't leave the building.
She waited.
She hid nearby, waited about 5 minutes. And sure enough, she sees Layla leave her own apartment, lock the door, and head straight upstairs.
Towards the 3rd floor.
Exactly. Then the sister does something else. She goes to the building doorman
To confirm.
to confirm Hossam lives on the 3rd floor, which he does.
Yeah.
And then the doorman drops another bombshell.
What?
He tells her, yeah, lots of people around here knew Layla and Hossam were involved before the marriage. It wasn't even a secret to the neighbors. Just to Basem.
An open secret. Oh, that's brutal. So now the sister has proof. Undeniable proof.
Irrefutable. So she goes back to Layla's apartment. And this time she confronts her. Tells her, I know everything.
What did she expect? Tears, denial.
Probably shock, remorse,
Yeah.
begging for forgiveness. Anything but what she got. Blame shifting. Immediately. Layla turns it all on Basem. He was too busy with work, didn't pay her enough attention, didn't make her feel like a woman.
Wow. The audacity.
Incredible, right?
Yeah.
She claims she only weakened because Hossam, conveniently right upstairs, gave her what Basem didn't. Then, the tears start. She promises the sister, swears she'll end the affair right now, commit to Basem, make it work.
A performance.
A convincing one, apparently, because the sister tragically believed her.
Why? After everything she just found out?
Demantoration, maybe? She loved her brother so much, wanted him to be happy. Maybe she thought, if Layla really stops, Basem never has to know this pain. He could have the life he deserved.
So she kept quiet, out of loyalty.
Out of loyalty. And that loyalty, that desire to protect her brother's happiness, became her fatal mistake.
So what happens next? Layla promised to end it.
2 weeks go by. Silence. Layla realizes the sister hasn't told Basem, hasn't told anyone. The immediate threat seems to have passed.
But the sister still knows.
Exactly. And that knowledge is a ticking time bomb for Layla's double life. She can't live with that risk. She decides the only way to guarantee her secret stays safe, to keep her life with Hossam going,
Is to silence the witness. Permanently.
yes. So she goes to her sister-in-law's house, again, unannounced. The sister opens the door.
And Layla attacks her.
Immediately. Pulls out a knife she brought with her, stabs her. 12 times. The same horrific scene the police walked into.
And then?
Checks she's dead. Locks the door from the outside. Walks away. Returns home. Calmly. A cold, calculated execution.
The investigation must have focused on her quickly, given the lack of forced entry.
Very quickly. Personal motives were obvious. They checked CCTV, saw Layla entering and leaving the sisters' building around the time of death. A quick visit.
What was Layla's explanation for the visit?
Oh, just popping in to see her sister-in-law. Claimed they were close, like sisters. Just a routine visit. Trying to normalize her presence there.
But that story fell apart.
It did. The key was a friend. A close friend of the victim came forward.
Confidentially.
Yes. Told the police that the sister had confided in her just before she died. Told her everything. About Layla's affair. About Hossam, the neighbor upstairs.
That changes everything. Now there's a motive.
A powerful motive.
Yeah.
Revenge. Silencing. Police confirm Hussam's identity, his location in the building. They bring Layla back in.
And confront her with this new information.
Exactly. The CCTV, the affair, the fact that the victim knew and had told someone. Faced with that, her story crumbled. She confessed.
What was her justification, if you can call it that?
Fear of exposure. Purely selfish. She actually tried to argue that the cheating itself wasn't the big deal. It was normal, sort of implying it was Basem's fault. The real problem in her mind was the sister interfering, threatening her arrangement.
And Basem, was he there? Did he hear this?
He was there, standing right there as she confessed. Imagine the devastation. The woman he loved, the sister he cherished, the entire reality of his past year just shattering in front of him. Utter disbelief.
Just gut-wrenching. What was the legal outcome for Layla?
She was charged with premeditated murder and adultery, which is also a crime there. For the murder, given the planning and brutality, she received the death sentence. Execution.
So Basem loses his sister and discovers his entire marriage was a lie built on calculated cruelty.
A profound loss. A year of his life, his trust, his family, all destroyed. And for what? Layla chose murder to preserve a toxic affair, rather than just ending the marriage she clearly never wanted.
It really makes you think about complicity, too. Hossam living upstairs, knowing Basem was being betrayed in his own home, actively participating.
Absolutely no honor there. Zero. It just shows how sometimes the most dangerous threats aren't external. They operate right under your nose, within the circle of trust.
It's a terrifying thought, and it leaves you with a heavy question, doesn't it?
It does. Layla's deception worked for so long, partly because Basem's deep loyalty, his desire for things to be okay, maybe made him ignore warning signs.
So the final thought for you, the listener, is this. How often does our deep love for someone, our desire to protect their happiness, maybe make us look away from uncomfortable truths? When does that loyalty stop being a shield and, tragically, become a vulnerability?